Here we are, we're going to check out the server rack that I've been working on over the last couple months here. Full height rack, as you can see, pretty much to the ceiling in here. I have no idea what brand it is or anything. Paid 25 bucks for the rack. Made a little drive, picked her up. Definitely worth it. It may be older, but it does the job. And just something fun to play around with, really. Pretty much at the top, I got a 48 port gigabit smart switch. It's getting there. Quite a bit of stuff plugged in there. I got lots of green, lots of orange, gigabit, megabit. And below that is another more of a fancy switch, a layer 7 switch. With the ServerIronXL. It's currently, stuff is plugged in, but they're not on, so you don't see any activity rather than just the one right there. There's the trip light power switch. It's double-sided, so there's cords on the other side. The other side's all full. Just this side's empty. That guy there is for a older blade server farther down. Then we got the sweet CRT monitor here, and the keyboard and the mouse. Hopefully that's going to be gone very soon. Going to have one of them 1U rack height drawers you just pull out and the screen flips up, kind of like a laptop, and it'll have a keyboard and a touchpad in it. Because the way this is, this keyboard is too big as it is. So you actually kind of have to fart around with it to get it to come out. And obviously the mouse, it's just not the most convenient setup. Then we go down, we got a HP server here, a DL560. It's older, but it does a job. It's running pfSense. That is my router. It has 2 dual-core processors in it. It can have 4 processors, but there's really no need. And I think it's got 4 gigs of RAM installed. 4 or 6? Can't remember. It may be 6. Then we got 2 SCSI drives here, 146.8 gigabytes, 10,000 RPM. They're in a RAID 1 configuration. In case one goes, I'm still good, and I can order a new one on eBay. A used new one to me, I guess you would say. Still got the sweet floppy drive. Never used that. That guy does have a quad port Ethernet card in it as well. Because I am getting a second internet connection here at the shop. So I will be load balancing and failover. That just happens in a couple days on Saturday. Below that we got the 3000 VA APC UPS. Thing was working perfectly fine until today. All of a sudden I heard kind of a little clunk, like when it goes into its test mode. I think it's set to do it weekly. And all of a sudden it started beeping, and now it says replace battery. So the batteries apparently are shot. I found a pretty good deal online, about 90 bucks to replace all 8 of them. There's 8 batteries in this thing that slides out. So not too big of a deal for the little bit that I actually paid for that. I know them things are big bucks, well over $1,000. I didn't pay anywhere near that. Below that we got the HP, what is this guy? I think it's the DL380G5. It's got 8 SAS drives in there. They're all 15,000 RPM. If you can see the labels here, they mean nothing. It's not the actual drives that are there. Just ignore them. They're just chassis or drive enclosures, whatever you want to call them, drive bays. This guy works great. I really love it. I bought it with a single quad-core Xeon in it, and I upped it to 2. So it's got 2 quad-core Xeons, and it has 32 gigs of RAM installed. I maxed it right out. It had 4 when I bought it. Below that, we got a little bit older again. We got a Dell Poweredge 2850. This guy has 2 dual-core processors, so 4 cores total, 4 gigs of RAM. This guy has a use. I only turn it on when I need it. Right now it's off. It's a network boot server, PXE server. I just have different operating systems on there. And whenever I'm going to install an OS on a customer's system or whatever here, I just fire this up. And it's just a network install through the network. It's very, very quick. You don't have to make USB drives or burn DVDs or CDs or no farting around with that. Just plug their computer into the network, turn this guy on, network boot, and it's quick. Below that we have a HP blade server. There's 20 blades. Some of them are generation 2, some of them are generation 1. I actually have 30 total, there's 10 spares, but obviously this enclosure only holds 10. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it. It's all sitting off right now. And actually then, all these Ethernet ports are actually for that blade, and some of them that won't fit are up on top. So they're all shut off. I played around with like the first 5. I actually got Windows Server 2008 installed. They are 32-bit, so I cannot put R2. Just has to be plain old 2008 32-bit, which is kind of like, I guess it's like Windows Vista equivalent, Server Edition. They're 1 gigahertz Pentium M's. it's nothing spectacular. 1 gig of RAM in each one, and a 40 gig 5400 RPM drive. It's just something to play around with, really. This box right here, this is a desktop tower. It's just sitting in here on its side on this handy dandy shelf that'll pull in and out. That's probably the newest, most powerful thing in here. I just built that a few months ago. It's a new Haswell Xeon. I can't think of the name of it offhand. I know it's a V3. It's the 4 cores, 8 threads. It's pretty much the lowest Xeon that has hyper-threading. It's awesome. Works great. 32 gigs of RAM in there, ECC. That runs FreeNAS. It's all server hardware. There's an LSI RAID card. There's 7 3TB drives in there, and just FreeNAS running plugins. I got Plex running, Sickbeard, Transmission, and OwnCloud. The OwnCloud I don't really use, but it is there and running. On the bottom we have an IBM X system. This guy is not really being used either. It's a power hog. It's a quad processor, 16 threads in there. It's very, very energy crazy. It's not efficient at all. It's loud, makes a lot of heat. I put folding at home on it just to fart around with it. Other than that, it's just chilling there doing nothing. And I think I actually missed what this DL380 is doing here. This is running ESXi. I got several virtual machines on there. One of them being kind of some software that runs. I have a couple cameras here at the shop, kind of like a DVR film 24/7. Any movement or things like that after I'm gone, it'll email me and text me on my phone and let me know something's up. And I can check and pretty much keep an eye on the shop anytime, anywhere. As well as a few other virtual machines. One of them goes along with the UPS. Power goes out. Once it gets down to 5 minutes where I have it set, it'll actually start sending out a signal to shut all the servers down before the actual batteries die. And obviously right now it says my battery's shot, so I need to get that taken care of. forget what's all on there. I got a couple Linux ones running, all the web server, all the websites are running on there, and everything backs up to my FreeNAS box as well. I mean, that is in a RAID 10 configuration, so I mean, I kind of pretty good redundancy there. This guy closes right up. Got some vents on the bottom. Find my key here to lock it. Don't really need to lock it, but it's the only way it'll stay closed. Go around to the back side. Kind of got some Ethernet coming in. Back door's already open. Got the fans on top exhausting all the hot air out. They do a really well job. I mean, I've actually found that things run cooler and better when this is closed up rather than being open. I was kind of surprised. When you got the doors open, you can just hear the fans start to wind up. And when I check the temperatures, everything pretty much has remote management, and I can see temperatures of everything, and the temps start to rise. So it's actually cooler closed. This piece of crap Belkin router, just an old thing from back in the day. I use that as my Wi-Fi access point, and that's hooked up to the pfSense server. Others wouldn't have Wi-Fi. So that does that. And we go down some. On top there, that is the router one there. Everything is dual power supplies. Over there is my quad port card. Only the first one is plugged in right now. On Saturday I will have 2, and apparently I can have up to 4 internet connections here, and well, I'd have all 4 ports. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but... And then the other one here is just the LAN connection, and then this guy is the integrated lights out management, the remote management of the server. The one below that is the UPS. That has a network management card in it as well, so I can keep an eye on that guy, and that's how it will send out a signal to shut stuff down. The one below that is the HP DL 380G5, one running ESXi. We got the integrated lights out again. Only one network port plugged in, dual power supplies once again. I just put these on rails last week or the week before, and I can see in this corner, when I was putting the rail in, I dropped it down a hole, so I can actually see this guy is crooked. This corner needs to be pushed up a notch, but I haven't farted around with it. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass. Dual power supplies again. That's the D-Rack, Dell's remote management thing. I got the management card and put that in there because I didn't have it when I bought it. The memory I got seems to have issues with error correcting. It works fine, but it keeps flagging for issues with the ECC, and that's why I keep getting this orange bastard flashing on me. Here we have the Blade server. Thing is just crazy. We got 20 Ethernet cords plugged in there. Each one actually has 2 LAN ports, so you could have 40, but I only have one hooked up. And then this guy chilling by itself is like the management port where I can remotely manage every single one of these from a console. Go down, we got the FreeNAS box. It's got 2 lines that are teamed together. More performance yet. And on the bottom we got that IBM server, which is just chilling there looking pretty, doing nothing. Yeah, that's about it. And close this guy up. And yeah, that's about it.